Hi, hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mind on the Rocks. And today we have Mithu here, who has recently written his book. You want to grab it? Andrew, yeah. This is his book. It's called the Healing Handbook, which is probably the name's probably gonna change in Siri. What's your biggest faith? And he's been trying to get people to move on from their past trauma. So Mithu, do you want this to tell us a little bit about yourself before we begin?
Sure. So I'm 29 from London, Sri Lankan roots. And yeah, I'm a trauma healer. I help people with their biggest pain. And the idea of my work is to essentially hold up a mirror towards people and be like, hey, look, you're actually perfect. You're actually beautiful. Like, it's cool. And help people figure out what it is they want to do from their own internal source, their own internal knowledge versus trying to fix anything or trying to control anything into it. Success, basically.
No, I think it's better if you talk to each other rather than the cameras, right? Yeah. So, what was your inspiration behind this book? Like what made you want to write this book to begin with?
I had no desire to write a book, to be honest with you. Like, I don't consider myself an author or anything. But when I was trying to figure out the next steps of my business, I was like praying and I was like, God, just tell me the next step. Like, what is the next thing? And I just heard this massive intuition of like, write a book, write a book, write a book. And I would literally just, all right, bucket, let's go, let's do it. I would sit down, open the laptop, and I just let it flow out of me. And yeah, literally 5 days, 1 week tops, it was like, done.
Yeah, I can't lie. One of the easiest ways to is connect with a wider audience and get your word out there is obviously writing a book. So I'm really glad that you went ahead and did that. I'm also in the process of writing a book, even though I definitely can't get it to a point where I'm actually satisfied with it. So again, so what got you into this entire life path? Like, did you have your own kind of trauma or something and did you move past it? And is that why you started this? Anything personal you want to share?
Yeah, sure. So it started when like I had a rough childhood and like I was born with this hand and like I was like made fun of it and there was a lot of shame around it and struggles around finances at home with my parents, and that was like a call to for me to like step up and help my parents and like level up my life. And then there was this whole thing around women and like being attracted towards women and navigating having a deformity like this and being able to socialize with women. And all of these pains essentially led me to your point where I had to figure out how do I navigate these things. Like, I'm going to a business networking event and I'm anxious as fuck. How do I navigate that? Like going to like a dating event or going on dates or hanging out with women and I'm anxious as fuck. How do I work on that? And by overcoming these things, and being in groups where we're learning about how to overcome all of this shit, other people eventually would ask me for help. And I just fell in love with that. And I dropped the real estate stuff I was doing back in 2018 straight away. I'm like, I'm very impulsive. I'm like, if I feel it, I just do it. I don't give a fuck. Um, so yeah, that's how I got into it. And now we're here 7 years later. I've got a book coming out very soon. This is my printed copy, but it's in the process of being published. So I'm very happy. It's like it's beautiful, beautiful like.
Yeah, and coming back to that, like all these difficulties that you said, like I can't even imagine how much harder it would be for you. Because even for me, and I feel like even with people without having any kind of issues, they have problems with communication, with like especially today, that people are lonelier than ever, and people don't know how to really talk and communicate and how to actually really be people. Especially since COVID, also that was a huge impact that really affected our social well being and our lifestyle and just the economy in itself. People aren't going out, so I think that this like the time is more right than ever that people actually need this kind of support, and I'm really glad that you're actually starting to do this. Yeah. So anything else that you want to add, like what actually gave you the inspiration about the book, or do you don't want us to walk us through it and like what your book is about?
Yeah, absolutely. So the book starts with look, there's like millions of self-help books, like millions. I don't need to write another self-help book. What I do want to do though is I want to show people that they're lovely, that they're worthy of love, they're beautiful, they're great, and they're perfect. Yeah, is what I want to show them and help them realize that. Because when you let go of all the garbage, when you let go of the trauma, the pain, the anxiety, and the fear, and the grief, and the depression, when you let go of that bit by bit, and it takes years and years and years, Or when you do that and you sit with yourself in a space of love, what happens then is you realize that you're perfect. And when you do that and you operate from there, you naturally attract people towards you. You naturally make the right decisions business wise or work wise. You naturally do what someone who loves themselves would do, that creates a life of love and greatness. So for me, at the point I'm at now is trying to get people and helping people realize that you could just ask your intuition or universe or God, whatever resonates with you, and you know the right choice. You know that that's the high intelligence you can't understand, but you follow that is perfect. And you do that, and two, when the fears come up, when the resistance comes up, and the trauma is like, right, you handle that. And when you handle that, what you realize is you turn your pain into purpose. You turn your suffering into success. Turn your wounds into wisdom. You turn your trauma into triumph. And you do that. It's called, it's you're alchemizing the shit into good shit, JC.
Yeah. It's really nice. And you know what? I haven't really talked to a lot of spiritual people, a lot more since I came to Bali here because it seems to be filled with it. But I feel like, honestly, out of all the people that I've talked to, the way that you present yourself is so natural and so real. And it's not like you're forcing anything on people. I even seen some of the videos that you recently started making where you're approaching people and asking them what the biggest pain is. It feels so yourself, you know? Like, I've only known you for a short time, but I think that's what people need to be. People need to learn how to be themselves, and people need to know how to not act in a way that they deem fit rather than just acting in such a way that it resonates with themselves rather than society itself at large. And I'm really glad that you're going ahead and doing that. So, was it hard, to break away from an established career path to move into something that obviously doesn't give you as much security?
This is the worst way to make money. But this to make money is be like, hey, what's your biggest pain? Let's talk about it. That's a natural visceral reaction for everyone, even me, right? Even I do this work. Don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to share this shit. What I was doing before was easy. I was helping a rich guy get richer. He already has money. Hell yeah, I have more money. I'll make a bit. That was easy. And
You get stability, which I feel a lot of people like crave stability over, actual drive and desire and passion, gives them the lack of meaning which they feel they have in their life. Because if you're only moving towards stability, I mean, it's more often than not the route to stability deviates away from the direction that your passions usually lie.
yeah, it is. But here's the thing: if you choose short-term safety over your passion and thing you really want to do, guaranteed loss. There, your life is gone. You're lost. It's guaranteed failure. For me, I'm not interested in a safe job. It's boorish. What do? I go in, I help someone get richer. I earn basically nothing. I can't live a good life anyway. Yes, even if you make like 200K a year living in America, it's not even, you can't do much. You're living in shit anyway, and
You also living just keeps going up. So I mean, unless you're getting like a pay raise every 6 months, I mean,
it's just nuts. You can't do the things you want to do. Like, I want to be free. And more than that, I see, like, I'm deeply empathic. I feel everything from everyone. Like, I feel everyone suffering all the time. I have no choice but to help people. Even if make, even if let's say I make zero money, I'm gonna be immensely successful. Or even if I don't, even let's say it's guaranteed I'd never make money, yeah, but I get to help all of humanity and like help them with their pain. And I, at the end of my life or wherever, whenever, like everyone's happy, everyone's fulfilled. We're not addicted to dumb shit. We're not addicted to the news. We're not living in pain and suffering. I'll take like this. I'll take it. But I'm gonna go for it all. I'm gonna have the success and everything, right?
yeah. So do you already feel that some sense of fulfillment because you're already going on that path and you're already talking to a lot of people? I mean, a few people have already read your book. So do you feel like you've already started to make that change?
Yeah, I mean, I've helped even way before the book. I was helping people already. I work with like rape victims. I've worked with, dude, you'd be surprised at the like ordinary people who tell you the things that are not so ordinary, like the crazy things that the things we run away from in this world, like the shadow things, the things people get put into prison for, like, the people's deepest pains, their suffering, and sitting with that pain and just sitting with people's love. Like, bro, there was a guy we met, I wouldn't say his name, but you know him. and we just had like a conversation. Then I gave him a session. He gave me a testimonial. But just in 20 minutes, he's just sitting with his after sitting with his pain, he's like crying and he's being there for a part of him, the younger child version that he hasn't been with before, and that a part that didn't get the love he needed as a kid. In doing so, he was able to overcome this massive anxiety he was having in social situations and that freed him. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes of sitting in the pain. It's not, it's like, this is so, overall, it takes a long time, but just choosing to sit with your pain and loving yourself means you attract situations where people love you.
Yeah. For sure. And I feel like a lot of people actually tend to hide away that pain, you know? Like even though like okay, shit's happened to me, but and I feel like even I try to, you know, like push it away in the back of my mind, not think about it because obviously like dwelling on that is it's probably like a lot of people think that dwelling on the worst things that's happened to you is not a positive way to move forward. But if that thing, if it's still in the back of your head and it's still like hurting you in some way, it is gonna give you a restriction in how well you perform day to day. So like maybe it's not comfortable to actually face the pain. It's definitely not easy, but I feel like it's a process that everyone, at least in at some part in their life, needs to go through and accept that it happened, and we need to move on from it rather than rather than just ignoring it, which a lot of people do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, pain becomes suffering when the pain is intended to.
Yeah,
A crying baby, when you pick it up and hey, it's okay, and you just sit with that pain, the baby feels soothed, the baby feels better. Same with you. We've all got these little babies, little inner children in us, the pains. Once you sit with it, it ceases to be suffering. So, with the greatest misery you have, you watching this, the greatest pains that you have, shit that's just lasting. And if ask yourself now, like, what's my biggest pain? Ask yourself, and then sit in that pain. Just sit with it. Have a curiosity. You don't have to do anything so great. Just journal about it. Oh, why do I feel this way? Where did it come from? Ooh, there's an inner child there. Oh, let me sit with him, for example. Um, or like maybe something needs to be changed. Address that. Listen to it. And may you feel better. You deserve to feel good.
that's really inspiring words, and I think this is an example that you, the audience, should also do. Like think about it for a minute, maybe what your biggest pain is, and just sit with it. Like accept that it happened, and instead of ignoring it, like even just 20 minutes, try to have a conversation with someone. Obviously, Mithu, if you can, but if not, just find somebody in your life that you can open up to, and maybe cry, maybe scream, whatever you need to do, but just let that out. Know that it's been heard, it's been felt, and it's about moving past because you can't always ignore trauma, and it's more likely than not that unless you're like 80 years old, that at some point in your life you are also going to have more trauma in your life. Shit is going to happen. Let's not ignore for the fact that if you're like 20, 25 years old, there's going to be multiple traumatic events that's going to happen before you die. It's just how the world is. And instead of, hoping that this shit's not going to happen and it's not going to affect me, at least look to the past and try to move on from the trauma that you have faced. And maybe it makes you more able to face the trauma that is bound to happen in the future.
Yeah. And that's really well said, by the way. And the pain that you feel now is the gateways to the next part of your life. So I'll give you an example, okay? So uh at the gym that I go to, okay, a few of us are like friends there, okay? We see each other a lot and we hang out here there. And then it was one of their birthdays, okay? One of the guys' birthdays. And he invites us to his birthday, and then you go to this club here in Bali, and then we're like dancing and having fun. And then there's a girl there who I know she'd always like look at me and stop here and there. And then I wanted to make a move on her, but I just didn't see her around. But then after ages, I see her and I'm like, oh shit. Like, of course she's there. Let's gorgeous, looked amazing, right? And then for about 30 minutes, there was like this very intense, beautiful moment between us. And then I like she just left after. And then I got her WhatsApp number and then I messaged her just expressing how I felt, like fully confident. And then she messaged me back saying, I'm sorry, I'm dating someone. Yeah. And then I was like, oh fuck. My mind was, I was like, how did she do all of this? Like flirt to this degree and do all this? And it really like hurt me. Right. And I could either do two things. I could brush it off and ignore it. I could say, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. Nothing even happened between us. I could bullshit myself. Or I can say, you know what? I'm hurt right now. Why do I keep attracting this similar kind of situation over and over where women are like semi-available, unavailable. I want love. And then I did that. I sat with that pain. I sat with the unworthiness. I felt how a part of me wanted to like fix her and save her. That was like the vibe there, like unconsciously, right? And I sat with how I always get like, well, I often get attraction from women, but not love and cared, and not complete availability. And by doing that, I became more conscious of this, and I feel better. It's like I'm more open to like more a better relationship, a more real love for women. So like that pain that was bothering me for a few days because took time and sat with it became like you turn your pain into power, right? Your lesson. Yeah, you turn it into a lesson, and now the pain is now like, oh, I can use this to find the type of women that I want. This is how you deal with pain, not like brushing it off, not bullshitting, not lying to yourself, not suppressing it. Sit with it, cry, go back to where when you first felt this way. Now I feel free. And I don't have any resentment towards it, maybe like a little bit, right? Not like before. What's wrong with the picture and all this? No, it's like, all right, let it go. Uh,
That's really inspiring, honestly. And okay, getting back to the topic. So, Mind on the Rocks is a mental health podcast. So, I'd like to ask this with all my guests. What are some tips and tricks that you do to stay? I mean, obviously, you should have more than anybody else being a healer. What are the tips and tricks that you can tell some of our viewers so that they can move on with their lives and, just maintain their mental health while living in this age that's completely changing and, the world's not really the best state. So, how do you, how do you survive this world that we live in?
I prioritize my well being at all times. So I ask myself, what is my biggest pain or what anything that comes up, and I sit with that pain. I do not do other things when I have pain. And because I prioritize that, I don't suffer. I don't go and work when I have some pain that's like festering and that needs to be attended to. And because I do that, because I prioritize my well being is well. But I have good well being. Everything else is easier. It's easy to, like you said, like be natural on like camera and not be like anxious and like trying to take from people. It's natural. It's easier to be yourself. You have better ideas for business and work. Your execution is better. You could come from love versus for love. If I were people unconsciously seeking love and unconsciously being like, okay, can I write this book and I'm gonna sell it for as much as I can. I'm gonna hit it and I'm gonna the best I can. I do all that. That's just fucking weird. It's just weird. If I sit with the pain, anytime that anxiety comes up, anytime that rush of like, okay, I need to market. Oh, it's gonna be huge. Like anytime like that kind of like anxious energy and that neediness comes up, and I sit with it, and I love that part of me, then it's easier to like relax and like, okay, what do I want to do? Well, I want having a book launch party, for example. Oh, babe, that's gonna be from love. It's been more about depth than like some huge thing. So I would say, to answer your question directly, prioritize your well-being, sit with your pain, and ask either intuition, God, universe, spirit, whatever resonates with you, what is my next step? Just ask, what is my next step? Listen to that, write it down, focus on that, love your pain, then you get your dream life.
So, one last question though. Was it hard making that jump, because I feel a lot of people feel trapped in the jobs that they're in the situations that they're in, but obviously, like, but also this kind of gives them that kind of security. So, was it hard for you to, just say that, you know what, I'm going to be a healer, I'm going to write a book instead of, which obviously does not guarantee success in any way and is more likely than not to fail, unfortunately. At least the statistics say that. So, like, was it hard, and what keeps you going? That this is something that you can actually work out of, that you can actually make a living out of. So, yeah.
You you will guaranteed fail if you're trying to do this for yourself, but you will guarantee succeed. You will guarantee success if you're choosing to help people and be of service. It's already a success if you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna help people as much as I can. Just sit next to someone and help that. You could talk to someone, give them a session, you're already succeeding, and then a bit by bit, over time, you want to work with you, and you just like you're working from an open heart, and that's to do with going from state of fear to love. And when you sit with your fear and you love your fear, you resonate less with I need safety, and more with I'm just gonna give, and like blah 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 blah. And when you do that, bro, like I'm not a success yet with this, right? I only quit my job earlier this year.
Yeah.
And like times are tough financially, but I have 100% conviction that I'll be I'm already okay, man. I've never had a bad day. See, it's taken care of, bro.
I think that's because for a lot of people that write books, success for them would be like to sell 1 million copies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for you, you define success completely differently. You don't want to make money out of this. You don't want to, get clients and coaching stuff.
I mean, you'd love to, but I wouldn't do it that far. But I was just saying it.
Yeah, but like your definition of success is something completely different, altogether. Your definition of success is just helping people, and as far as you're considered, at least you're at least doing that.
Yeah, it's how can I love people as much as I can? Like when I see people like reading the book and they're like, yeah, bro, like, can you help me with this? Or like, I gave it to a waitress and then she comes back like, then I was there like a couple days later. She's like, yeah, I was doing this exercise on finding my purpose. And I was like, oh, wow, it's amazing. Like I see like a random person I've never seen like holding it. And I'm like that's amazing. Like, that makes me so happy. Or a guy being like, yeah, you know what, bro, this book is amazing. I want to give a copy to my brother. Can he get it out? Cause and then he's telling you what his brother's been through. And like, it's those things that's like, enjoy the success you have now and like move from love. And when you move from love, you just like,
No, but I think that
how do you fail, bro? Like the objective is how can I care about someone? So if it's not for someone now, that's okay.
no, I think I just love how you said that your definition of success, people should start defining success as just a monetary thing, or, stability, or just like whatever, like fame and like whatever. Like if your definition of success is something to do with actually helping people, then even the process of getting to the point where you're famous and helping millions of people feels like you're successful anyways.
It is, yeah. I'm like, I know for a fact, 100% certainty that I'm going to be extremely wealthy, hundreds of millions or billion there. I genuinely do. Is I manifestation. I mean, it's 100% belief that I believe I'm a genius based on the way I've handled problems in my life, the way I've handled like things I've had with mentors and people and clients. That I just, based on the evidence that I have, I know I'm a genius and that eventually I'll be successful. It's not even like arrogant, bro. Like genuinely.
Okay, a little bit, but you're calling yourself a genius a bit.
I think that's okay. I'm not saying I'm a genius at running or a genius at feel like it's a bit more.
Yeah,
I feel like it is. I'm a genius.
yeah, I feel like you should definitely be confident, and you're definitely confident in what you're saying. And it's also another kind of self-love, that you say that, okay, you know what, I'm smart, and you know what, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna push myself down. If I'm gonna be smart, I'm gonna like accept it, and I'm gonna share that knowledge that I have with other people.
100%. And it's actually extremely important that you own your excellence and you own what you're shit at and you focus on your excellence and you give it to as many people as you can. When you do that, other people benefit. When I own like that, this is something that I'm just fucking incredible at. Like it just got, I don't even have to do anything. I just sit down next to someone. I'm like, cool, tell me. And then 20, 30 minutes later, an hour later, they're like, oh, I feel so much better. Like this, I have to be very clear that this is fucking very good at this, and I have to give it to everyone as much as I possibly can. And so when you find your like the thing you're a genius at, or something you're curious at, you find that little seed, that spark, grow that, and then have faith. Like it will work out. If all you did was help people, all you did was love people as much as you can, wouldn't they want to buy from you?
Yeah,
That's true. Like I kind of like joke to myself, like my business mentor is God. You just speak to God, call it intuition if you want. My sales strategy is to love people. My marketing strategy is to love people, be as kind as possible. My product itself is
you're the product.
the product, like my service, whatever, is again, it's like how to help them love themselves. It's just love, love, love God. That's the how do I fail? I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially with today's, digital age, with all this AI and like conversations online being largely pushed by corporations and, literally AI chatbots, which you don't even know is human or not. I think it's really nice that you're coming back to what actually makes us human, the connections and actually going to people and having these kind of face-to-face conversations. And, and you wrote all this book by yourself and you didn't get a chatbot to write it. So I feel all of these, I feel like, especially in today's day and age, people need to be showing off themselves for the real people that they are. And honestly, thank you for doing that. And I wish a lot more people do the same thing as you.
Thank you, bro. I'm so glad you brought up this AI thing because people worry about AI. They're like, it's going to take my job. It's going to do this and that. Good. Let it take the shit you don't really want to do. AI can't replace you. It can replace a fake you, the fear-based you, the logical you, but it cannot replace your soul of what wants to come out of you. That cannot be replaced. AI is a manifestation of, it's a mirror to humanity, and it'll take away the things that we are holding on to that we should have. It's good that it takes your job. Now you have time and freedom to figure out what wants to come out of you and let that come out. It's beautiful. Just don't resist it. Just own everything that's happening around you and fucking go with the.
I do say that we need to tax AI and give universal basic income, but other than that, I completely agree with you. AI needs to pay its fair share of taxes. But yeah, other than that, I'm all in for AI. Like, if it's taking away the shit jobs, we shouldn't be away from that. But we should also make way for more real human connections and more real human jobs, which are gonna come up, especially more and more healers when a lot more trauma exists in the world. But yeah, thank you for that. And I hope a lot more people feel inspired and try to follow the same thing as you. And maybe we get a lot more healers and maybe a lot more healed people in this area. Yeah, I think that was great. Thanks for being on the Minor Rocks podcast. And I hope we'll have you again. We'll definitely shoot an episode on his book launch. So keep an eye out. All right, cheers. It's gonna be sick.